Right, where am I? Where was I? I just had to fix the lighting because it was strangely drifting into overexposure. So what I'm doing at the moment is, what we've got here is a polymer clay high detail plug mold, which is, it's been baked and hardened. And it was baked and hardened over this armature, which is made of compressed foil with a clay foundation, if you like, air drying clay foundation. That allowed me to bake this off. And then to make the mold, I have to create a dam around my art sculpture, create a dam, and because it's air drying, when it got to a suitable hardness level, I sprayed it with this Krylon acrylic crystal clear gloss to seal it up, so the firstly the silicone won't react with it and inhibit, and secondly to prevent these air drying cracks from forming or getting wider. So I'm just going to seal those in now with this oil-based non-hardening detail work clay, which is, I think it's oil-based or something. And I'm just going in around my sculpture where this has been hardened and baked, and the air drying clay of the dam wall starts to separate away due to shrinkage. It creates a gap around, which I then have to pack with some kind of caulking, but I'm not using caulking, I'm using this sculpting clay as a bead, and I'm pressing it in there to seal all the gaps and further seal it from releasing any more moisture. So this will take me a couple hours, I think, to go around and fully bead up the dam against the sculpture to prevent any of the silicone leaching in under the casting and, you know, where it's undercut, where the gap is, and destroying the original. I want to keep the original intact. So I'm just sealing up the cracks and that's what I'm doing for this stream. And when it comes to when I've done, I'll go around and I'll polish off all these seams, these beads, because I want the flashing to be completely smooth and polished off. So let's zoom in a little bit and show you the detail. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and it's enjoyable for me. It'll take me a couple hours to finish and then polish off all the way around. Once it's all polished off, I can spray it with more sealant. I'm using, once again, I'm using this gloss crystal clear acrylic paint, acrylic clear crystal clear, because it stops the silicone rubber from inhibiting. If I have a problem with inhibition on the mold while I'm casting it, then the silicone will cure, but on the contact surfaces it will be sticky and uncured, and the detail won't come away, and I'll probably damage the mold. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know, the whole reason why I sculpted this in polymer clay was to preserve the original detail. I want to keep my original work, and I want to see if I can pull off more than one mold, because I'll probably make some changes to this and revise the mold. Okay. Oh dear. I'm just gonna over here. I've blocked the window in because the exposure was just going crazy on my phone. So I'm just gonna go fix that a second. Hang on. Right, where was I? Ah, here I was. Okay, back to it. Zoom in on the detail. Okay. Let's move it this way a bit. There. I've got quite a lot of packing to do here. Oh, hang on. Let's go over here first. I'm just sealing up all these cracks, and I'll polish it off once I've gone around and done all of the cracks. And then what I'll do is I'm going to cover the whole thing. This is going to be the mold casing. Cut a hole, pour in the silicone. Obviously I'll have to seal all the way around the edges before I do that. So that's what I'm attempting to do. I've just realised this is probably, this is the first stream I've actually done of this sculpture. I haven't shown anyone what I've been doing. I've just been quietly doing this on my own. So this is the first time it's been shown, and I'm not going to explain much about it today because there was some secrecy about this while I was doing it, because it was a very personal project, and I've actually got it trademarked. So this is now protected. My lawyer got involved and did the protection for me. My inspiration really I think for the last couple of years I've been really struggling with depression. I didn't know it, but I've been really struggling with cognitive deficit, executive dysfunction skills, and it was a real struggle recovering from that. So I turned to art just to be productive and make me feel as though I had a value in society, which I felt there wasn't, I felt there was nothing for me. So turning to this art really got me out and really started me redeveloping my self-worth and self-respect, which I'd lost a few years ago in my breakdown. I lost everything. But I'm actually feeling much better these days because of my art and just investing time in being productive and making things was a real outlet for me. So when I was physically unable to do things, I went swimming and I made swimming movies. And it was a bit of a bind actually, because I love swimming and it's good for me and it helps me a lot to recover my body. But unfortunately, I didn't like the projection that I received from people watching my videos. I didn't like the comments, the subjectification of my work, which was never my intent, and it actually caused me more mental stress and harm. So I've privated a lot of those videos and I've stopped sharing them publicly now, because they're always taken out of context. I do the videos because I enjoy the process. I enjoy the relief and the beauty of being me. I feel free, and then I'm so disappointed that the most part of my audience perceives my intent to be something else, and that was not my intention at all. So I've taken a lot of my swimming videos down. I was very sad about it because I really enjoy swimming. But the stress actually made me unable to enjoy my swimming because I felt like I was performing. Instead of doing something I enjoy, I was now performing. So yeah. So this piece of art came about during my I mean, I'd gained my physical health back, but now my mental health was taking a slide again. And all I ever wanted was to feel comfortable in my own skin. I didn't want to feel the projection coming from other people. And I just wanted to feel beautiful, but without having to have that validation come from anybody else. I wanted to feel beautiful for myself. And that was being taken away from me. I don't like the word sexy. I don't see myself as being sexy. So I just felt that there was an over-representation of what is expected, the male gaze and male sexuality, and an underrepresentation of the other gender. That's all. So, because I wanted to feel beautiful, I sculpted my chrysalis. And at first it was just an idea to do something beautiful, a self-representation. It's not sexy, it's just beautiful. And then I started thinking, well, it would be really cool if it actually had a purpose as well. Just wearable, actually wearable. So I decided to make it wearable and functional. And I started engineering those designs. And then it came upon me that no one's done this before. So I ran it by my lawyer. Like, what do you think? And she immediately said, yeah, you've got to protect it. So we ended up getting me a trademark. And when this is complete and pulled out of the mold, I'll be able to go into the detail about it. But until then, it's not a bit of a secret. It's, you know, it's just I'm not telling what this is for until I've finished. So now I've gone around, I've made a bead around, all the way around. So now I'm just gonna polish everything off and seal in any more cracks. Actually, I'm gonna seal in around the base. Because this is air drying clay for the dam, and I obviously don't want it to dry out anymore, otherwise it will crack even more. So once I've gone around and sealed everything, I'll polish everything off, coat it in another coat of Krylon clear coat, and then I have to put release agent on it and dam up the mold so that, you know, it doesn't leak anywhere. Seal all of this up. Yeah, should be good. Oh, something else happened last few days ago. Yeah, it was about a week ago. I went out in the garden to cut grass clippings for my bunnies, like I do every day. And I was excited about coming to work down here in the workshop and just, you know, carry on with my sculpting and stream that. And I took a bath and I heard the door slide downstairs. And I just thought it was my husband just, you know, doing the hose pipe outside in the garden or something. Didn't think anything of it. I came downstairs and to my horror, my streaming station was gone. My laptop was gone. Someone walked in, picked it up, left the power cables behind and just run off with it. In my house. While I was taking a bath. Through the back door, which I had never thought to lock behind me because I'm in the house. So I don't know what the normal reaction is after being burgled like that in broad daylight. But I actually wanted him to come back just so that I could stab him with my dental tools. Just an opportunist that came along and thought, oh, I could get $100 for that laptop, maybe. Well, I've got news for him. The laptop isn't worth anything over here. It's got a German keyboard. It didn't have the power adapters with it. And, you know, it's just, he won't get much for it. And he was obviously desperate for drug money. So I didn't really know what I was feeling. The last time I had an intruder, I'm not kidding, right? But I used to go outside and clip grass for the bunnies in the nud. Because I find it difficult to get dressed. I go out and do it naked and get me some vitamin D. And this intruder walked into the garden and I'm naked. And he actually looked scared, which I thought was fascinating because I'm, you know, little compared to this big guy, this intruder. And I must have looked like a crazy woman, because I am. But I'm not entirely with it, you know. So I followed him. I walked up to him and he was like, oh, sorry, ma'am, sorry. Yeah, I thought this place was empty. And he started backing up. So I walked towards him. And I thought in my head, I just want to fucking stab him. And he was so scared because there's a naked woman just walking after him like The Grudge. And he jumped over the 6-foot fence, which was chained and locked. And I'm just stood there like, oh, what the fuck, man? I really didn't care. And that's happened. This burglary was the 3rd time since I've been here. So, you know, once every few months, someone walks into the property and just tries to take an opportunity because it's all walled around here and 6-foot gates. No one's gonna come and save you. You know, they're just opportunists. And I don't know if I should be scared or what, but my initial thought when I see them, you know, this is the third time I saw it happen twice. Completely different people, unrelated, with a getaway car, someone driving. My first response is, how fucking dare you? I'm not thinking about my safety. Maybe I should be, I don't know, but how fucking dare you take what little I have? You know, I can't really look after myself. I haven't got my shit together yet. But I am quite proud of the progress that I have made. So there's that, which is awesome, because 2 years ago, I was a complete zombie. I was completely unable to cross the road on my own, put my shoes on, get dressed, make breakfast. I could barely talk. And when you suffer a mental insult, an actual mental insult, like mental illness brought on by, you know, erosion of the brain fog, it's different from actually having a physical insult like traumatic brain injury, because there, doctors respond to something. But being mentally ill of some form, but it's less understood even by the professionals, because you aren't recognized, you feel like you aren't seen, and the only person that's going to help you out is yourself. And I realized that when I was trapped in my head. I realized that I had to find a way out, so I turned to art and study. I studied anatomy, I studied the flow in my brain, the things I could feel. I didn't have answers, but I just studied. And I swam. I swam to just enjoy the sensations, nothing more. I swam and I filmed it to capture those sensations on video that only I could feel. My world was different, underwater. Okay. Now, this is good. Okay. Right, I'm going to go around and polish up this bead here. So I'll zoom in, see if you can see the detail now. Okay, there's a lot of beading work that I have to do to make sure that the flashing on the mold is as clean as possible. It's gonna fall. I made a window cover just in case there's intruders that look through the window, and it's falling down. I have to go and stick it back up again. Where did I put the... Hang on. Where's my sticky tape? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm just sticking this over the windows. Okay. Oh. Back to work. Right. I need glasses. Where are they? Oh god. Okay. Ah, that's better. My eyesight has never been this off before. This has literally happened in the last few months, I think, since I've been unwell. Okay, that looks That's good. Moving up. This clay is so soft, it's amazing. I've always been good at detail work. I've always been good at it. It's first time I started detail work, I was maybe 13. I used to make jewellery, used to do wire work, jewellery, but I guess, oh God, it's fallen down again. This time the other side's gone. Hang on. Let's see. No, it's complete white out. Nope. Complete white out. You back? Okay. Whew. Yeah, where was I? Detail work. Chinese calligraphy. I used to do brushwork, Chinese calligraphy from about 7 years old. And that was a normal part of everyday homework. I just had this evening ritual of ink grinding and brushwork and repetitive painting of Chinese calligraphy. The flow is important, the brush rate, the flicks, the pressure in the wrist. So I've always been good at the detail work. And obviously when I started doing anatomy paintings, that accuracy came through. So yeah, I've always been able to do like pretty intricate detail work. And having this kind of control and focus really helped me recover a lot of my cognitive deficit, the cognitive insults I sustained from emotional abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, gave me seizures and disconnected parts of my brain, cut off areas of my brain that were used for logic. Couldn't focus on anything. But exercising this focus through art and things that I enjoy doing has really helped. So, this up there needs going over. Oh my god, I was in the advanced materials store yesterday picking up supplies, and it was the first time I'd been out of the house in like 2 years. And I had an absolute blast of a time. These material suppliers, Reynolds Advanced Materials, they're material suppliers for the Hollywood industry, for special effects, for anything to do with manufacturing, making things, you know? And they were just awesome. I showed them my project and they were just amazing. They gave me some good tips. I had some suggestions about what I wanted to do with the actual casting process, and they were extremely helpful. They understood exactly the process I intend to use, and they added to that. They added to it, gave me more ideas. So I ended up spending like $1,000. Like, damn, I'm spending money I don't own. It's not my money, but it's an investment in me. So that's good. I'm investing in a whole new me. So I'm proud. Let's see, use the other end. I can there we go. These let me put the other light on a minute. It's looking pretty smooth there. And once it's polished all the way around, I'm gonna spray it with Krylon Clear. Paint. Yeah. Spray the whole thing. I chose gloss because when I do a high detail mold casing, molding, the glossier this is, the higher the detail. You know, if I have a satin coat, then it will actually come out of the mold looking like a satin piece, but I want this to be quite catchy. There, I can see little hair. There's bunny fur. And these tweezers, I'm gonna have to fetch the other ones. Is it? Yeah, it's bunny fur. Her fur just gets everywhere. I keep this room clean. The bunnies are not allowed in here, but their fur still tracks in on my clothing, and so even though I have a clean room, you know, I just cuddled my bunnies and now their fur is stuck all over my sculpture. Right. Okay. I have to put more beading in there. It's quite a bit. Quite a bit of a crack in there. Okay. That's good. I've already got some other sculptures on the go at different stages of completion. So this is the most advanced progress I've made so far, getting to the mould preparation stage. The others have got to catch up. So right, I need another little bead. To go, let's see, need it to go there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Put one more little ball in there. There we go. a bit more. There. Nice. Okay, working down. What was that? I thought I heard something outside. I was looking at the footage that I shot 2 years ago of my journey through the Canary Islands filming a documentary for a gig. And that journey was actually the baseline of my mental health journey, because about 8 months earlier I suffered a bunch of seizures. It really took it out of me. And I felt like I was in a hopeless situation. I was in a job which was abusing me. And I had no allies. And my employer had made it that way. So I was literally trapped over there. I couldn't get out. There was no money left to get out. So I was in a foreign country, unable to help myself get out. You know, this job didn't work and there was nowhere to go. And I didn't have the money to get out of the trouble I was in. So I got on this gig, this filming gig that took me around, I mean, all over Europe, west coast of Africa, the African west coast, on the Canary Islands, Malta, England, and then finished the journey, ended up in San Diego, California, and then travelled down finally to LA, where I'm living now. And it was a 3-month journey during which I was a complete zombie. I was struggling to do anything. But it was an amazing trip. The fact that I was out there in nature and some scary situations which I didn't anticipate. I did not know that I was going to be going up volcanoes and mountains and dangerous, sharp, dodgy caves. I did not expect that. I just thought, okay, location, this is going to be good, but I am no Lara Croft, and I mean, when you think about it, a film crew going on location, they're holding equipment with both hands, whether it's a boom arm or grips or whatever, lighting equipment or bounce equipment. You're using both arms and you're walking around on treacherous landscape. It's a recipe for disaster. And that's what I was thinking of the whole time I was filming. I was thinking, you know, I'm okay filming now just on my own. I've just got one job, just film. And I kept feeling as though if this was a whole crowd of people, it would have been a nightmare, like completely dangerous situation. So there was a lot of places that didn't end up on the location list because they were just too dangerous to film. And my pathetic attempts at being a goat and tripping over treacherous landscape was a good representation of, I guess, the average actress or stunt person that would be likely in that situation. And I was constantly cutting my head and bumping my head on the cave ceilings. And, you know, I was just thinking, yeah, I can really imagine this going. Can you imagine, like, with a crew of no less than 30 people crammed into a cliff-top location or a cave location, really coming out of this successfully? So, yeah, it was fun. And the exhilaration of the treacherous anxiety wasn't all bad. It was informative. It's like, no, I don't think we'll be bringing any diva star wagons up here somehow. It was good. It really perspective on life. I believe I was completely lucky and blessed to have that opportunity to scout all those locations. Like, who else gets to do that? Damn. The sensations I felt. It was a complete refreshment from the trauma I had endured at the previous company where I worked that burned me out from all the bullying and the complete lack of concern for safety, my own safety, when I was out working for this company. You know, the truth is now I look back and I realise how bad that company was, how bad the situation was. And I went into it too naive. There was a gut feeling of, this is risky. Beyond risky, it was crazy. And I should have listened to that gut feeling. Because in the end, a company can weather a storm, they can weather a risk, a disaster, but an individual cannot. An individual will break. So I entered an already abusive situation because the odds were stacked so against me, and I should have known. I paid for my own flight, paid for my own emigration, put myself into serious debt for a career that didn't value me. So now I know. Now I know when I'm valued. It's a shame I had to learn the hard way. The truth is, I've always enjoyed the jobs that I've taken on. I've always done my best. But it's the leverage of politics and people around them that makes the work so unbearable. And honestly, I am so happy now. I am so happy that I can take the time to create and produce and leave something behind that's beautiful. And in this industry of artists, there's no competition. I don't get why, I'm only ever trying to improve myself. So I told you this would take a couple hours. I don't know how many hours I've put into this already. If I was to research it, I could probably forensically identify how many hours I've put into this. It's probably about 60 hours. That's not important to me. As I get more practiced with developing these type of detailed, intricate sculptures, I'll probably change my methods a bit, adopt new methods, and get faster at it or better. This is a starting point, and it is what it is. It's going to take time because I want it to be highly detailed and beautiful. So check that bit is sealed. So because my streaming deck was stolen, oopsie, I am streaming from my mobile phone. And because my mobile phone is literally above my head, I can't interact, I can't tell what's going on, if there's comments, if people are interested, if they're watching. And I'm unable to pay attention to that because my streaming station was stolen. So if anyone leaves any comments or anything, I'll get back to you and address it in a future stream. This is the first stream where I've actually spoken. I've really started speaking again, probably only in the last week. It's taken me 2 years to get that back. I could talk now and again, but the energy would just fade rapidly and I would lose my ability to pull the concept out of my brain and form words. And the energy crashes were happening with such regularity that I planned to never talk more than an hour in a day, maybe, total. If I go over that, then I would crash, lose my energy. And I've been used to living in silence for the last 2 years. Been used to that. It doesn't bother me. I'm quite happy on my own. But yesterday was the first time I had interacted with anyone for a long time. On a technical level, we're talking about viscosities and mixing, blending different viscosities and, you know, the technical side of mold making. And I was so amazed at myself that I was holding a conversation with a fellow artist about the technical side of mold making, and I was able to do it. I was just really proud of myself. Haven't been there in a few years. I'm using an otoscope tool, curette tool for ear cleaning, because it's shaped like a saddle, so I can get into some really tight curves. How's it going? I can see from there. I'm actually kneeling on the ground to look under the undercut. So I'm going to use this dental tool to poke it in. You know what? I'm going to zoom in a little bit so maybe you can see a little bit what's going on. Let's it's looking pretty good. think I actually want to take a break and finish this a little later. I'm going to go get myself something to eat. So